Ahoy hoy, this is Michaela from Team Retro, where we like retro games and we like the devices that bring them to us. So welcome to the month of February, and February marks the 1 year anniversary of the release date of the Steam Deck. And so for the entire month, we are going to be featuring videos here on the channel that specifically have to do with the Steam Deck. And we're going to start here with an accessory that I wasn't expecting to like, but turns out that this is one of my favorite new accessories for the Steam Deck, and that would be the DBrand Killswitch case and skins. And so this month I plan to feature all these little accessories and tweaks and software enhancements that make the Steam Deck my primary handheld, and that's what this month is going to be about. I've tried a lot of handhelds since starting this channel, and none of them have replaced or dethroned the Steam Deck at all. It's just the handheld that I keep going back to. And so I'm pleased to feature it this month on the channel, starting with this Killswitch case. So let's dive in and let's get to work. Now before we get into the content of the video, I just wanted to take a minute to give a shout out to you, the subscribers. Thanks to your support and joining me in this little corner of the internet, the channel has reached over 1,500 subscribers and continues to rise up from there. So I wanted to make sure that I showed my appreciation. Without your support, there would be no channel and there would be no content. And so I'm going to do a giveaway at the end of this video for my fellow US residents. So stay tuned until the end of this video for details on that. But I also wanted to give a shout out to the members of the Steam Machine and the Retro Handhelds community. Both of those communities have been really supportive of me and my channel, whether it's from letting me use their music, to giving me a shout out on a podcast, to just being a source of tech support or communication or excitement for these various handhelds and the retro games in which they can play. And one last shout out to Retro Tech Dad, because he puts up with my random DMs on weird retro devices. And I'll leave links in the description to all of these different communities and channels, because if you are new to the retro handheld scene, these are all great places to go. So the Killswitch case that I specifically purchased came with a matte black skin for the front of the Steam Deck. It came with a cover so that you can have the Steam Deck in a bag and you can travel with it, and you don't have to worry about a case, and you also don't have to worry about the Steam Deck getting banged up. I have put the Steam Deck in this exact setup in my book bag, and it has protected it very well. There's also a kickstand that comes with the Killswitch case, and you can actually take this off, and there's potential for other accessories to be made for this case, so you can attach other things to it. You also get a couple of thumb grips for the joypads. I'm going to put those on as well. Now, in order to put the skin on, we're going to need some high-tech equipment here. So I would like to introduce you to Connie, making its debut on this channel for the first time. Now, Connie is my wife's hairdryer, and in order to attach the skin appropriately, we actually need to use Connie to heat up the skin to make sure that it is flexible enough to fit around the buttons and the pads and all that. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to put these skins on, because there are very good step-by-step videos by the DBrand company themselves that showcase exactly the best way to apply these skins and when to use the hairdryer to heat up the material and how to slowly adjust them in order to keep bubbles or imperfections from showing up in the skin. The best advice that I can give is absolutely 100% take your time when putting the skin on and follow that video step by step and pause it and go back and do whatever you need to do, because I personally found this to be a moderate challenge. I had to reapply the skin a couple of times, and I also had to heat it up and peel part of it off because I noticed it starting to curl up. So I just didn't rush. I took my time and I was able to get it to look very nice, and I was able to get any small imperfections out by continuously heating the adhesive and just either reapplying or rubbing down the imperfect areas. And once I was all said and done, I do have to say I really did like the look of the skin. Now, I went with the matte black color because I didn't want to actually change the overall look of the Steam Deck. I wanted to keep the black aesthetic, but the matte material actually eliminated any type of smudging and fingerprint issues that I did have while using this device previously. I found that in the past I did have to make an effort to keep it clean, and it did become a bit of a fingerprint magnet, maybe not as much as other devices I own, but it was still there. And so having this skin on gets rid of that fingerprint issue. Now that we got the skins on, let's go ahead and put the case on. And the best advice I can give for that is just make sure that you press the shoulder buttons as you're sliding this case into place, just so you don't accidentally bump them or knock them out of place. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward process to get the case on, and I would just make sure you put the kickstand on after the case is on. And here's what it looks like, and this is very impressive. DBrand has made sure that any part that is not protected by a skin is protected by the case, and this kind of changes the overall feel of the Steam Deck itself. It doesn't have a slippery grip anymore. Now it has this matte finish to it, and the kickstand in the back is kind of a game changer. Now let's go ahead and just quickly slide the thumb grips on, and this is just as simple as pushing them on, and they don't really seem to change the thumb grips all that much, other than they do protect them from grime and skin flakes and all that stuff that tends to happen when you use a device for a long time. And putting the thumb grips on doesn't seem to affect the responsiveness of the joysticks at all, so there really is no harm on putting them on. Taking a quick look at the kickstand, you'll notice that there are 4 slots on the bottom for you to place micro SD cards, and so this isn't something that I would personally use. But if you're the type of person to have different games on different SD cards, then this is a pretty good storage solution. I have a 1 terabyte card in my unit, so that's more than enough for what I use the Steam Deck for. But if you have just a bunch of smaller cards, then you have a storage option. Now, Scaly was getting a little bit jealous that Connie was getting so much screen time, so let's go ahead and weigh the Steam Deck with the case on it and it comes in at about 874 grams, and then a whopping 974 grams if you have the protective case on, which is definitely a lot more than the 669 grams that the Steam Deck weighs with nothing on it. But overall, with that added weight, definitely comes an added grippiness and an added feel. I never felt that the Steam Deck was too heavy with the case on, and I also never felt like I was going to drop it. I felt like I always had a handle on it while I was using the Killswitch case. And so I used the device for about a week with everything assembled, and I have to say that there are no fingerprints here. The device still feels good in the hand, and nothing is peeling off or coming apart. The only thing I would say that I do have a minor complaint about is that you can see dirt and grime on this a little bit more, but it does make it easier to clean versus having it be a fingerprint magnet. So while I'm getting my Street Fighter on here, let's talk about commendations and condemnations about this case. Starting with commendations, I really do like the grippy feel that this case provides. It does make the Steam Deck a little bit easier to hold and a lot less slippery, and I haven't felt like I was going to drop it in the time that I was using it. I do feel like this is adequate protection. I can put the cover on, I can put this in my book bag, and I don't seem to have any concerns as far as being able to transport this, and it hasn't shown any sign of damage or getting banged around, and thankfully I am able to protect the joysticks and the touchpads as well with the way that this is designed. I also really like that I no longer see my fingerprints, and that kickstand is really good for either a tabletop mode or if you have a third-party dock. Moving on now to Condemnations, the skin takes a little bit longer to put on than I would have liked and requires a lot more patience than I would have liked. Plus, you also need a hairdryer in the house, so if you happen to not have a hairdryer or something that can generate heat, you're going to have a bit of a higher expense or a lot more difficult of a time applying the DBrand skin. Now, this does add a little bit of weight to the device, which isn't really a deal breaker for me, but it might be for you, so I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that in my review. And this is also not compatible with the Steam Deck dock right out of the box. Now, it hasn't been an issue for me personally because I have other third-party solutions that I've been using and they fit with the case on just fine. And DBrand is working on solutions. They did make an adapter available for you to 3D print, and there are extenders that you can get for the USB-C port on the Steam Deck dock. So these are issues that are going to be fixed over time. However, they do remain issues as of this moment. However, ultimately, when it comes down to the decision as to whether I can recommend the Killswitch case and skin or not, I would say that if you are willing to pay the price of admission, this is definitely worth it. I can tell you that I have definitely been much happier since I put this case on, and it did kind of breathe new life into the Steam Deck for me, and I haven't really been using many of my other handhelds ever since I did apply the case. So I would say that if you haven't been using the Steam Deck and if you were looking to protect it a little bit more, then yeah, definitely pick this up. But if you're happier with other solutions and don't want to spend the money, I totally understand that as well. However, if this video did tip your decision to pick this up, I would definitely pick up the bundle that comes with the front cover. Alright, we're getting ready to wrap things up here, so let's go ahead and get to the giveaway. And I felt that it was most appropriate to give away my first love and the device that first got me into retro handhelds to begin with, and that would be the original Retroid Pocket 2. Now, I did do an upgrade of this device in one of my older videos where I took the PCB of a Retroid Pocket 2 Plus and I put it in the shell of my Retroid Pocket 2, so that's where the updated buttons came from. But you could see here there is no touchscreen. This is purely navigated by the controls on the device, which might make it a little bit harder to navigate compared to some of the other retro devices out there. However, I am making this available with the carrying case that I purchased when I bought it, and I do have the original box, so I will send this to the winner as well. Now, a couple of caveats here. I don't have the original USB-C charger that came with it, so I won't be able to send this with a charger, but if you have a phone charger or you have a USB-C charger from another handheld device, you should be able to use it to charge this as well. And another thing is I'm going to be sending the original Retroid Pocket 2 PCB. Now, I was trying to get this to work as a television console, but I never was able to get this to power on. However, because it's part of the original system, I will send it off as well. Details for the giveaway will be in the video description. Just to let everybody know, I am only able to ship within the United States, so you'll only be able to enter this giveaway if you are a resident of the US. But that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you get a DBrand Killswitch case, and what do you like about it? Or did you pass on this, and why did you pass on this case? And feel free to continue the conversation by joining the Steam Machine Discord. Link will be in the video description. Again, thank you for watching, and if this video was helpful to you in any way, please be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, bye for now, and don't stop believing.